sunrise, the time of day that we celebrate the coming back of the sun into our lives. And the spring equinox, we also celebrate the coming back of the sun into the year's life. And it's all tied into this wonderful little object, the egg. Now when you crack open an egg, you get the most beautiful golden sphere, the yolk, which is a real symbol of the sun. And eggs start coming out about now. Birds start laying eggs. At the moment I'm watching the birds build their nests. And it's so amazing as well because birds are so in tune with the sun, with the light, and that's how they know when to build nests, when to lay eggs, and so on and so forth. But what's also amazing about the egg is that it's just a yolk and white at the moment, but a fertilized egg under the right conditions can become a living creature. It's like got life encapsulated in it. So the egg has always been in people's minds, especially around this time of year, with the sun coming back into our lives. Now the solstice, the sun was at its weakest, but it was getting stronger again. At Imbolc, there was a real sense of hope because things were happening that we couldn't even see. But now at the equinox, the sun is shining, it's much stronger, spring is here, it's made manifest. There's no more thinking about it, spring is here. Action begins, people start planting, start gardening, start living their lives again, hibernation is over, and we're working up to the summer. And that idea of the sun being resurrected has been played out through many, many myths and stories. I think Tammuz was the first. He was a Babylonian god. And Horus, the Egyptian god, Mithra. So many gods have been resurrected. And of course, this time of year, nowadays, the big one is Easter, where we celebrate the death of Jesus and it's his resurrection as well. But again, in school, I would ask the question, why does Easter move around? If we know his birthday is on the 25th of December, why does his death day need to move around? Surely it's one pinpoint in the year. And again, I was told not to be so smart, the usual. But after a little bit of research, I figured it out. It's all got to do with calendars. Now, I don't say that word properly, I know. But it's got to do with the Jews work off a lunar calendar with the moon, and so do the Muslims, and Ramadan moves around quite a bit over the year. But the Christian church, which brings a lot of its teaching from the Roman Empire, goes with the solar calendar. So, and the Christians wanted to hold Easter very close to Passover. Now, Passover is a Jewish holiday where they celebrate God killing all the Egyptian children in the plague of the firstborn. And the Christians wanted the celebration of the death of Jesus and the resurrection to fall in with the Passover feast, but they were on two different systems, so it was almost nearly impossible to meet up. So what they did was, they started with the pagan route, the equinox. So then they moved on to the first full moon after the equinox to catch up with Passover, and then they put the first Sunday after the full moon is Easter Sunday. So that's how you calculate it. So there's a lot of pagan influence in Easter. But now in the Celtic societies, there doesn't seem to be much going on. Nothing is really said. But of course, there's a lot of confusion between Patrick's Day on the 17th of March and Easter sometime after the equinox. The equinox is kind of muted, and that to me says that something wonderful was going on, and that's why they put Patrick's Day there and Easter was floating around over here so the people would forget. Goddess called Eastra, where estrogen comes from and Easter comes from, and she's all about spring and regrowth and the plants and the earth and the planet and the birds regrowing and coming back to life. And there's a beautiful story because people often say, well, where'd you get this rabbit going around with eggs? So there's a beautiful story which you can find over here where the Easter Bunny comes from. But I mean, if you're out in the fields or the forest any day and you see hares and rabbits playing at this time of the year, you would know they are fantastic. They are such an inspiration. So the eggs are the thing, and I'm going to show you how to decorate. There's also a little video here about how to blow an egg, get the yolk and the white out.